Hello, and welcome back to the channel and some more Enshrouded. So I got 61 hours into Enshrouded. I don't have everything open yet. We're still trying to get along the map. We're still trying to get a bunch of stuff open and different things going. Uh, I don't have all the different things going. I don't have. There's a lot of stuff I don't have in the game, and I know we're still coming. I can kind of start to see the end of the game, and we're playing on a multiplayer server here, just me and Pete, and we're just having a good old time. He's been able to build and make different buildings, and we have plant farms, and we have it's allowing us to build our own little village here, and we have like the farmer's house, and we have like storage in there, and this stuff I hear we're just kind of throwing around just so that we have a place to put it for now until we find its official place. But this game, it's amazing. I first of all, I'm gonna there'll be comparisons to Pal World. There's gonna be comparisons to other games. There's a lot of stuff this game does really, really well, and it does phenomenally well. And there's a couple of things that like I miss from other games, but I understand why they're not here. So if you don't know what Enshrouded is, you're basically in this world, and the humans. There was a substance that the gods had kept to themselves, and it's the blue stuff you can kind of see in the distance there, and the humans kind of got a little taste of it, thought it was good stuff, so they started mining it. And in typical human fashion, they dug too deep, and the shroud, the stuff that was protecting this substance from the humans, kind of escaped, and now it's basically destroyed everything. A normal person that goes into the shroud is the dead. It just they don't do very well. We have gliders. I can glide around. I can go do this. Now, once you're actually into the shroud down here, once I'm into the shroud, a couple of things happen. You'll see a timer that pops up on the top there. Our visions, obviously, it's a fog. It's gooey, nasty stuff. The fallen start attacking us. Let me get a stabby stick out. All right, there you go. I'm playing a mage, which for me is, I don't know, usually I go tank, but I've been doing this thing where I've been being a mage lately, and I'm really enjoying it. I do enjoy it in this game, but there's a couple of little things like you never knew you needed. So I have my one-handed weapon up with my shield. Boop, boop, my shield. All right. And then, but say I come up here and I find big bad guy. Big bad guy, where are you? Anyone? Oh, there's a bad guy. And I do this. I hold down Q, and then fireball. Zap your face. So basically what I do, and you do the same thing with the arrow. Like if you're a tank with a sword and board, you can hold down Q, you bring up your arrow, right? And then I can do this. I can do acid bite. I'm going to die here probably. Acid bite is a cone, like AoE damage, so it kind of damages everything. Is actually really powerful. It's kind of frowned upon, but who doesn't frown down a little bit of magic every once in a while? So, but and then there's like explosive barrels, and like this little guy here, I can pick it up, and it increases the amount of time up to my maximum. I don't think it will go over my maximum. I don't think it. We need to find out. Nope. Torrent cloth. There you go. Yep, it just goes up to my maximum. So it's going to kind of keep me there for a second. I do have other abilities with the current build I have. And then once you're out of the shroud, all that goes away and you're back to normal. Now, once I get out here, I can do this. I can go teleport to any fast travel spot I want to. I can do all kinds of crazy stuff. So, but it does a lot of really good things. Like the game, and honestly, I don't have too many bad things to say about Enshrouded. other than personal preferences for myself of me wanting the game to do something that the game is not. If that makes sense at all. So like I would like to be able to automate things. Why? Because I like to automate things. If you like to automate things, it may not be the game for you. That being said, I really love automating things, and I'm still enjoying the game. I do not like Dark Souls type combat. I do not like that stuff, and the game definitely has Dark Souls, rolling, wee. Nope. Howl at me all you want, buddy. Oh, poor guy. So some of the boss fights and stuff, they can get really rolly. I can't roll because I have a blink ability. So it still uses my stamina, which is cool. Let me see. And then I can do crazy stuff. Let me see if I can find somebody. I need a victim. Anybody want to be a victim? No? Nobody wants to be a victim today? I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to be a victim either. Red stuff. Red stuff is not lava. Red stuff is bad. Because basically what will happen is it's like basically liquefied shroud. I guess is what we're calling it. And if you touch it, it basically drains your shroud timer down to 0 almost immediately. And then as soon as it does that, if you're in the shroud, which you will be because that's where the stuff is, you die. It is horribly bad. And if your shroud timer gets to 0, you die. It's all right. There's it. Here, Mr. Wolfie boy. Mr. Wolf, can you come away from the cliff, please? No, come away from the cliff. I don't want to trip and fall. So I have an ability with that where I can do this. And then as I blink through or hit things with my blink, it will actually cause damage to them. I also have the ability that if I get stunned, if something stuns me, I can still blink out of the stun. So it's very helpful for movement. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and go into here, into N. Or not to N, let's go to H. H for skills. So this is the skill tree menu. I don't know why it allows you to kind of zoom in and out when it doesn't zoom in and out. But basically what you have is you have Beastmaster up here. Gain endurance for every 2 levels of flame. Targeted by an attack worker within. Basically, creatures in the game, they'll come to help you. Beastmaster, wild animals within 50 meters. So you can basically, if there's wild animals in the area, they'll come to help you fight. Wild animals within 50 meters will be pacified unless attack does not affect animals, right? Within 50 meters, no longer attacked unless provoked, right? So you can actually kind of talk to the animals and they won't attack you. Ranger multi-shot adds 20% chance to spawn a flurry of arrows that spreads slightly, right? So basically, 20% chance of you firing stuff, it will have you do things, or have you fire a bunch of arrows instead of one. Damage dealt to enemy's head is increased, but basically it gives you headshots. Damage against flying enemies is increased, right? So, beasting, you can draw and use your bow while gliding, right? So if you're on a glider, you can still use your bow. Well, that would be helpful. I wish I could use my other one. Increases zoom while aiming with a bow. Updraft allows you to get a little boost when you're gliding. Shell shock, ranged explosive mana enemies for 1 second, right? Chain reaction, every enemy hit with an exploding arrow has a 20% chance to trigger a secondary explosion. And then we get down here. So I went heavy into magic. So I have blink replaces a dodge roll with the ability short range teleportation. Blink, emergency blink, and that the water aura basically allows me to basically auto regen, and anybody in my party that's close to me regens. If I die, which I do a lot, it basically heals everybody within 50 meters for 30% of their health. Wizards just mass destruction, critical shock. So if I crit, it starts causing electricity to shoot out from the guy that I critted on. It's kind of like PoE in a way where you can kind of choose the direction you want. Now, I will say the game gets a bit grindy. I run up, I grab that thing. That's 1 shroud liquid. I just made a bunch of boxes to put magical boxes. So if I go back to our base over here. So if you make a normal box like this, so these little boxes here are the ones you start with, and they start with, you know, basically 2 rows, basically 16. The guy down here has like 3 rows, and then as they get a little bit larger, you can actually run over here. And then, hi Pete. Pete's probably very confused right now. So these boxes in here, you know, they have 3 rows, but you notice they have this like blue tint to them. And then these have, you know, 5 rows, so that's 40 holes. So the deal with the blue boxes is if I go over here to this guy, and I go to tell it to build something, like a glider, right? It pulls the shroud spores and the animal fur, so it pulls the items that are in those from the boxes, and I don't have to have them in my inventory. If you don't have these blue boxes, you have to have the stuff in your inventory, and it makes it very tedious. But in order to get a lot of this stuff and to kind of get the flower beds and to be able to build a bunch of stuff later, you're going to end up, it can get really grindy, and it's going to be very, very, see how much stuff you can actually do. So I'm going to go up here to this one. So this is an ancient tower, and if you get to this ancient tower, I recommend coming back to visit it. The boxes and the loot respawn in the game. Most of it does. There's some that's like quest items and stuff like that that doesn't respawn, but a lot of stuff, most of the stuff in the game respawns. It's just a couple of quest rewards I found that don't. So you're going to run basically from the teleport in thing over to this corner here, and you're going to look down, and there's a box right there. So we're going to glide over to it. And every time I log in, I come and check this box out. I find really cool stuff in this box. It's okay stuff today. It's an Executioner Axe, so not too bad. But if I go into my character screen here, this central screen, I got from that. I don't think I got the commander's ring from there. I got another ring that gives you like health and regen. I've gotten a couple of those, and I gave them to Pete. I think I have one in my backpack, actually. Yeah, this guy right here. Ring of health, 3 health regeneration, and 40 health. And I found there's been a good amount of stuff I found. But the game is so diverse and like so much. Like we've got over 60 hours in the game, and we're just now starting to get to the end game. And this is an early access game that was $30, and we have 60 hours, and we're just starting to get to the end of it. Now, we haven't changed any of the settings on the server. We didn't change anything to make stuff easier or harder or anything like that, because I like playing through at least the first time just to kind of see what the stuff is. Some of the fights are extremely hard. And if I take my little mage butt down here, and I go, and the shadows are amazing in this game. Like these shadows actually doing what you do, and I don't know, that stuff amazes me. It's just that the game development has come that far. So we can run up, we can harvest stuff. If I need to hit Alt, and I go back, I pull out my old axe here. I can cut down the aloe plant here. And then the little pieces drop out, and I can pick up the aloe. Oh, damn tumbleweed again. All right, now we're kind of getting into the desert area, so weird, but fire damage doesn't work so good on things in the desert. I know, it makes sense though. So this is a kind of an old building that somebody has decided to kind of, you know, take over as their base. Let's see if we can get into a little bit of trouble. Get away, chicken. Let me see. There doesn't seem to be any friends in here. Oh, booby trap. Okay. Whoa. Nope. I do not like it. No, sir. So, like I said, it's more of a Dark Souls type of combat. So it's, you know, the run away and dodge, and, you know, let me get fireball. Nope, nope, nope. Now, the wand and stuff does kind of auto seek. You'll see the thing where it kind of jumps onto it. So that's part of the reason I do like using the wand, because that way you can hit tab and auto target things, and then use R and F to move your around if you want to get a very specific combat or a specific target. So the combat and stuff, and honestly, I'm not usually one to be like super into the combat and things. Now I will say that this like trying to walk forward with this thing out and trying to use enough fingers to do that stuff makes it difficult, because you have to hold down Q to keep that up. Nope. Nope. Done with you. Oh, somebody. Okay. All right. We're doing that today. And we just roll over here. Oh, yeah? Well, how about this? Yeah, how'd that work out for you, buddy? Acid bite is so bad. It is so mean. And it hits everything in its path. The fireball does an AoE effect. So, like I said, I've done mostly this. Pete's doing mostly sword and board tank type stuff. And we're just having a good time with the game. Yeah. So if you notice in the center of the screen, like right now I'm out of mana, so I can't cast. But if you notice in the center, there's the little ring. Once that ring fills, I can cast the spell. So like right now it's telling me so I don't have to look anywhere else. I can look right at where I'm trying to point at, and it tells me whether or not I'm good to cast. There's a audible alert, that little ding ding ding, lets me know I'm out of mana. Now if I do that and I'm trying to do that and I'm out of mana and I left click, it just uses my wand. Alright, it drops me out of that mode, and it drops me back to my normal attack. So if I had an axe or a sword or something, it would drop me back to that. Oh. I think Pete thinks I was going for this obelisk. I wasn't going for this obelisk, Pete. But there's obelisks, there's things around the game. There's so much to discover and to look around and look at and find things and different boxes, and it does really good job of saying, hey, there's something important over here for you to capture and stuff like that. The game is so good. I honestly, like I said, automation I kind of have a problem with, but the game's not automating things. It's me putting my problem on the game. We've had a couple of issues where we've gotten dumped offline, the game's crashed, things like that. The game's in early access, so I'm not going to give it too much fault for that. We'll see how it kind of works out. But in the grand scheme of things, the game is great. If you haven't checked out Enshrouded already, I highly recommend you giving it a look. It's an interesting game, and something, especially if you like survival builder type games, if you like Dark Souls type combat, if you liked Valheim, if you want to build a little town and be able to build things and make them look pretty and things like that, it's a game to go check out. But with that, as always, if y'all like the videos, please throw a like on it. It does really help them. If you have a question, a comment, a concern, please throw that down below. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, that would also help us out a lot too. Thanks, and we'll catch you guys next time.